more, nothing less. You know, this whole life we live in, this reality is nothing more, nothing less. From the largest scale to the smallest scale, to the whole grand scheme of things, it's nothing more, nothing less.
You think we tight as a pizza? It's unlikely that I need you on that flight where they can't reach us. Jesus, release us. DVD, right where we can see her. My nigga said he seen God on World Star. That's another example for fabrication, fraudulent moves, image deceiving. We getting even, breaking the laws of the common man. Cause when you die, nigga, the earth gon' keep revolving, man. When you alive, nigga, realize that you not the man. So when you die, your soul arrives to the promised land. Self-control. I know I'm on a self-control. So these L's I blow and held up slow. I don't smoke weed to have fun, bitch. I smoke cause I ain't had none, bitch. We deep in the streets, a bitch is a bitch, a fiend is a fiend. Nothing more, nothing less. We flying in the wind. She not my girl, she just a friend. Nothing more, nothing less. And you ain't know my government, but you're not the one that I hustle with. Nothing more, nothing less. You might think we cool, but to me, nigga, you just another dude. Nothing more, nothing less. You know, nothing more, nothing less. For sure. Nothing more, nothing less to know. Which means there's nothing more, nothing less to show. Open the eyes. Nothing more, nothing less to know. Which means there's nothing more, nothing less to show. Don't believe everything that you see. Don't listen to everything that you hear. Don't feel everything that you touch. When shit smell fishy, better pack your gun. Nothing more, nothing less. Mixed on a plate, appetite for destruction. Got me shitting for days. We flying in the wind. She not my girl, she just a friend. Nothing more, nothing less. And you might know my government, but you're not the one that I hustle with. Nothing more, nothing less. You might think we cool, but to me, nigga, you just another dude. Nothing more, nothing less. You know, nothing more, nothing less. For sure. Nothing more, nothing less. We flying in the wind. She not my girl, she just a friend. Nothing more, nothing less. And you might know my government, but you're not the one that I hustle with. Nothing more, nothing less. You might think we cool, but to me, nigga, you just another dude. Nothing more, nothing less. You know, nothing more, nothing less. For sure. Let's do it. I ain't got swag, a nigga like me got air. I'm windy, man. I'm lifted, man. I'm windy, man. I'm in the plane. A nigga like me got air. Fuego, you know, for sure. Nothing less, nothing more through the motherfucking sky. Bitch, that jet gonna swarm. You can only be hot or cold unless you was warm, but you still not ready. I still got heavy clouds, 100% out the crack of the window. I'm packing a pistol. Homie, please don't make me act on the issue. My fashion official, just like a pilot that jet'll be flying. Any girl I left on the ground, I bet they be crying. I'm done trying. Time to be myself and let go. I'm trying to do right, you'll get left choked. To follow where the rest go. Ride till I got more tires. I'm an Aries with a Leo rising, Sagittarius moon, I'm on fire. Most creative at the highest level. I'm a leader and a shining rebel. I never mind the devil. A made up story from religion to keep you in prison within the brain. Well, fuck it, I'm in a plane. Play ball. I got that shit that you talking. Bullshit coming out of your mouth. Unless I see you walking. One thing about the problem, I'm never walking. I'm in the sky, I'll always be ahead of you in the cockpit. Cause you a bitch ass nigga, but lie. Cause you ain't got enough lie.
You know what I'm saying? Now, get prepared for the real ice age when it comes to the creative space. Oh, we about to go through a drought. This would be that time where we need, in all industries, business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics, women and men in that spiritual space, whatever Lil Wayne was in when he was coming out with the drought mixtapes. This gonna be that time. This about to be that time. Now I'm gonna break down the ramifications of why you experiencing it, aka the lack of creativity, the lack of something that spark your attention, the lack of that new refreshing energy, the lack of that brand new energy that make you feel like, what is this? And I want to put everybody else on to that. That's about to be gone. Now, we're going through a situation right now. I don't want to blame specific humans. But before we even get into all that, I also want to break down, we're kind of drifting away from what we should actually be pointing to when we're directing our energy, called appreciation. Because when it comes to supporting things, that have got conflated. A lot of people have got comfortable. A lot of people have became broke. A lot of people are still maintaining and sustaining themselves. A lot of individuals have become overly rich. But for the most part, let's not forget the substantiated concept of what support actually means before we over exaggerate. And then you place yourself in a situation and then you're trying to figure out where's your support without even adding what God looking at. You support, so whatever you express, you're supposed to get that back. So there's some negligent energies going on in the external world. What do I mean by that, right? Everybody's energy when it comes to supporting, you need to understand. What phone company do you got? What kind of phone you got? You support that company. What's your insurance? You support that company. Y'all are in a mind frame of thinking things just have to be, where these things were created to make sense. But don't forget where appreciation comes from on all levels, middle class, low class, broke, or if you became rich, because we understand the substantiated point of what it means to be supported. And there's always people to support something. Even if you're confused and you think there's a necessity, you still pick the specific necessity. And whatever company, all the way down to the toilet paper, is what you're choosing to support. So me putting it in that mind frame, I'm not a grifter, I'm not a scammer, I'm not a race baiter, I'm not a rage baiter. So when you're hearing things like that, from my perspective, it's from an unbiased perspective, where you're able to see it like, I could get in this type of thing, and I know what I'm already doing, so there's nothing wrong with that. But when I'm looking for that energy in the world also, I don't want that to go past that. I'm not projecting what I also want to receive, and not even receiving from the specific companies that you support. So it's not in a situation of, oh, just because a certain ethnic group or just because a certain ideology and they created that type of technology or whatever there's to support, that's mean don't support it. I'm not in those boxes. I'm not in no whistleblower box or whatever the case may be. And I look at things in reality, and I'm a grown ass man. So I know how to separate my own biases. If I choose to get an iPhone or a Galaxy, me as a person, no one else to blame, I know I'm supporting that company. So for the most part, I don't care to get into any whistleblower energy of who's running that bill or that software company or whatever the case may be. If I know as an adult, I chose to support that corporation, and vice versa. If anybody support something I got going on or anybody I know, whatever the case may be, this is where I start my energies at separating from spookiness and getting into reality when I say I support all ethnic groups or things of that nature, because for the most part, I know how to separate biases y'all be in to look at things in reality. I can't be up here being no stupid whistleblower if I'm up here with an iPhone or a damn Galaxy phone. I can't be up here telling people what not to do if I'm up here on YouTube. I can't be. So all I could come at things is from a creative perspective and how everybody could get in one way and get they want to. And also, this video is made for people who watch online and things before we get into the actual topic or whatever the case may be. Us as a watcher, we're watchers first. So for the most part, it's going to help you understand why we may be experiencing whatever we're watching to make it seem like we need to start lessening up these watch hours and things of that nature when it comes into creativity. when it comes into spark of new interest. And it could be anything. It could be dealing with business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. But we're getting to a time where it's going to be a drought and everybody mimicking what once was creative or whatever the case, to the point that music may not even flourish anymore, to the point that a person may figure out how they can get money online with the virtual signaling energy is just reviewing classic albums that have already came out from artists that was putting in actual work. That somehow we're going through a little shift right now where those type of artists is being shadow banned in all kind of areas, and we're getting some new industry plant when it comes into artists and when it comes into content creation to be able to back to support these things of that nature, to the point that it's not going to be about creativity anymore. It's going to be about talking points. So you could sound terrible or sound intelligent like you J. Cole, but it's based off virtual signaling and talking point. So for the most part, it's going to separate the creativity and put it in the back seat, and not understand that we are watchers also, and we want to watch things creative, not things like it seemed like there's an energy behind it that's trying to compete with creative people and put them in shadow ban, so you could be like, hey, everybody, look at me, however the case may be. And we will know how to root those type of tactics and where that stem from. So we don't want it to be like that. We want it to be calm and cool for everybody, so individuals don't start to look at whatever creativity that they have is no purpose of, presenting it on these platforms and things of that nature, especially when it comes to AI. There's a lot of creative people that can utilize AI right now in a lot of different ways that they wasn't able to previously, due to the fact of the lack of things that they have, or, their living conditions, their circumstances, their area and stuff like that. A lot of people stay in poor areas, so they have to use the little that they have to get a little more out of life, or however the case may be. So a lot of times people in that position spark that initial creativity, spark that initial thing that create all those circumstances to make everybody else want to be like, okay, this is dope, or whatever the case. And that comes when it comes to business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics, especially when, there's a lot of money invested when it comes into entertainment, which is why entertainment appears to seem like what everybody want to do or what everybody considering to be important, or however the case may be. But that's not necessarily the case. It's just things is not prompted on certain platforms that I guess a lot of people give attention to, for these things to seem like they're a consideration to matter. So for the most part, it's just about you being an individual, especially if you got children and things of that nature, and steering people in the right direction when it comes into practicing their creativity and having something productive that their creativity could flourish in. That should be the main thing, because here's the thing. That's what a person going to be able to be sparked for motivation to wake up tomorrow, and also that's where the money at. So if we're not teaching the children, or we're not waking up ourselves as being adults to spend more time on these curriculums and things of that nature, then it's going to be a drought. You're going to be blinded in a synthetic way of something being creative, and then you may just be online, end up being a virtual signaler, and all your creative goal that actually could take you further than that people will have to virtual signal just to get lit on their page talking about you, will be in a back seat. And for the most part, and we don't need people at that stage of that spiritual space that I be explaining, with all that good gold creativity that God be giving you, but you ain't motivated because you don't see nothing external, or you don't see nobody from your background or just in your same condition being able to strive or being able to be a representation without it being infiltrated with a whole bunch of other things, such as like these new artists that we getting also right now, like RUSSLE stuff. I never even heard of this cat until you start whistleblowing and using terms like whistleblowing. So for the most part, this takes us into a situation where it's like, if when it comes into business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics, if all these things get psyoped up, it's not about what they doing. It's about what we're getting ready to experience. We're getting ready to experience a drought in creativity. We're getting ready to go through the worst time ever, especially if more of these people in charge and they got access to duplicate numbers and stuff like that, and replicas and all that stuff that you still don't got access to, but these things is being utilized to copy you. Right? This will allow you to be unmotivated and stuff like that, and seeing things that doesn't necessarily make sense, like Kakanat or whatever the case may be. You see where his mind at right now. They'll probably use that as a psyop right now and be like, well, his mind crazy. This is why you need to give him attention right now, and all kind of weird stuff. But for the most part, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're fruitful off your creativity, and these actual matters that's down, or when other people can make a narrative, whatever, it's because of a genuine situation. It's something that actually happened. It's something that you're actually down about. It's something you're actually changing your mind about, not separating yourself from that feeling, and you're not even experiencing that for real because you ain't got no creativity. So you have to use a synthetic version of it that other people have actually been creative to actually be in these positions in order for you to get the same attention that that spirit was actually in that space to obtain. So for the most part, that's where the energy doesn't get the full maximum potential of it. And then it gets watered down and watered down and watered down more every time it's forced, every time it's pushed. And here's where, the discovery come out, where it's not even about it having to be said. People could just read patterns and can tell when something is being presented in the form of a plant. You see what I'm saying? So even when it's created in the form of a plant, orchestrated for a certain type of audience, so it may do some undercover cop type stuff where like extract certain words, certain lingo, or whatever the case may be, and then create a whole artist out of it. And then before you know it, that artist never went to jail, got shot or nothing, but they done sold 1 million records, making you believe they did. You know what I'm saying? Or they never bought all them vehicles outright. None of that. None of them got the yellow tag on it, whatever the case may be. They rented it, or it was just in a video for you to go buy to be broke. You know what I'm saying? And then for the most part, you went out your way thinking you had to look a certain part on Instagram, TikTok, you know what I'm saying, Facebook, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You thought you wanted to be Batman Kivo. He getting this 1-2 together. But you thought you had to put yourself in a situation to look like that to be noticed or whatever. And you went damn near broke doing it. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful what's going on right now, because all your creativity that could have got you in that position anyway is going to go towards being fraudulent. And the examples that you're going to be looking at, I'm telling you, don't trust that so much and things of that nature. It could be infiltrated. It could be industried up. So it's only going to work for them, not necessarily you. And you're going to be losing your mind or crashing out or become a new boot game or whatever the case may be. And we don't need a lot of that online, because we're rising our intelligence and our comprehension skills during this particular, in all areas, not just science, not just philosophy or whatever the case may be, especially if you're from the hood. You need individuals like me, your spiritual next door neighbor, best friend, homie, or whatever the case may be. For my woman out there and my homies and OGs and things and young YGs or whatever, however the case may be, from the hood to the reservations, right? Because without the right mind, it don't matter what you get yourself into. It's going to all fall down. So you could be going through the worst thing ever, but if your mind is right, I bet you get through that better than someone else. So that's what it's all about, you know what I'm saying? Especially coming from our background or whatever. That we need that more than anything or whatever the case. Because, you know, every day, every second is an excuse to go ahead and crash out and can't even justify it, because ain't nobody caring like that anyway or whatever. And that's for a lot of people coming from backgrounds like mine or whatever the case may be. Not to say specifically mine, but I'm just saying. But I am in the hood or whatever. Everybody got somebody to care for people. I'm just saying what things people go through, the average individual, for them to end up in jail or the halfway house or whatever the case may be, especially when they detach themselves from the intelligent homie or homegirl. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, you need productivity and be hard like that also, whatever the case may be. Therefore, that's an actual substantiated foundation for anybody to want to be a part of, and especially get their mind right, so they ain't got time to be doing no bull crap. You know what I'm saying? And that's what our mind need to be in. But for the most part, a lot of people may get frustrated in these positions due to the fact of, let's say, a lot of these things you want to jump on. You want to be a content creator or whatever the case may be. Try not to get too much in your spicy, feisty energy, because you is going to see a lot of things that don't make no sense, especially now what things is being utilized for. You know, especially getting up into election season and stuff like that. It's going off the roof. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, just maintain your creativity and put in that back pockety work right now, even if it appears to be like whatever that you're doing. It's not in no algorithm at all. You the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? You the character. So it's all about creating a character right now. Not a caricature, a character. The expression of yourself. And make sure it's more genuine. Not a caricature. A synthetic version of it, whatever the case may be. That as soon as it start to dry up, you jump on some other caricature made from someone else's real character for you to even be who you think you are, or whatever the case may be. So for the most part, you want to make sure you present your own back pockety energy. So when it's all said and done, doesn't matter even how many views you got. The work is put in. You know what I'm saying? You got all that content. You got all that music. You got all that philosophy. You got all that teaching people how to build. You got all that construction, whatever. You got all that lawyer talk. Whatever you do, whatever you get on your 1-2. If you're a female, you got everybody on how you make nails or whatever. But the creativity is kind of failing right now. So this allows me to know it ain't really no men in a lot of these females' lives that's becoming content creators also, because why ain't no man constructing what y'all are duplicating online or whatever the case may be for you to even have a nail business or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nail business, clothes, blouse business, however the case, slipper business, all kind of stuff. But it's everybody is going to be in a situation where you think the only way to get on your 1-2, or if you're trying to be a content creator, maybe some degenerate stuff. So I'm just going to be that spark of, you know what I'm saying, to kind of show y'all it don't have to be that way. Put your energy and put your 1-2 in, and also understand when it comes to support, know what you support, and don't be in no situation like it ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? God see everything or whatever the case, or whatever gadget you use, you know what I'm saying, whatever company or whatever, you know what I'm saying, give it a second thought And because you know that's what you're utilizing, and that's what you support or whatever. So the company should appreciate it, and you should appreciate the product or whatever the case may be that it offers, right? That's how y'all supposed to be thinking about things as humanity. All that other stuff y'all be kicking out y'all minds and stuff like that, I don't know where y'all be getting that from at times, but it's starting not to even make sense in this new shift. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just trying to be supported in some way, shape, or form. East Indians, Asians, Europeans, African Americans, Native Americans, got Puerto Ricans, the whole Latino and the whole thing, everybody, Dominicans and stuff like that, whatever the case. Jamaicans, you got a store somewhere, whatever the case may be, you getting supported. People buying those, you know what I'm saying? First was white, 2 weeks later they beige Air Force Ones and stuff like that. So, you know, let's not get it twisted. That's what support is. You know what I'm saying? So everybody should be appreciating each other, that we got a system that everybody from all walks of life can be in one type of pocket to support each other in some way, shape, or form. And once we start with that mentality, we even start to even think about other things better, even tariffs and stuff. We start thinking about that in a better way. It ain't us should be against China or whatever. It's like China got some product and they need to get it sold, and we got some product and it should be exchanged like that. Now, anytime it's getting to we got a fight or whatever, it's some laziness going on, because it shouldn't be coming to a fight. I got this product, you got the bargain exchange product. It should never get to the point that it's like an ATM. I got to give a small goddamn trick or treat size Snicker to get the king size Snicker, aka you got to pay the ATM to get your larger piece of change out from it or whatever the case may be. It's not really supposed to, but I'm just putting it in a mind frame. You know what I'm saying? There's some creativity lacking somewhere, and it's just being played out in many pockets. That's just one of them, but it's being played out in a lot of different pockets in reality right now. And as far as how we're getting along and relating to each other and stuff like that, where it's more predicated on talking points or scenarios that's really outdated, not fruitful, or can't be duplicated right now to even try to make it as fruitful as it previously was. So right now, we're just going through a time where you have to really maintain your creativity. Really try to stay on your 1-2 and maintain your creativity. Don't put that in the back seat. Because here's the thing, right? It's another way of signing yourself away without even know you're signing anything. As soon as you get on the YouTube contract, TikTok contract, or whatever the case may be. Let's say you got a creativity, right? But you're spending more time on thinking you have to jump in something in the algorithm first. You're playing a spiritual red pill energy. I need that white collar, blue collar job and rims first. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. Here's where you throw your morals in the back seat, but you don't see it as morals yet because it haven't condensed in reality for it to be part of things that you consider morality, but it should be a spiritual morale. So you like, yeah, instead of this creativity, that ain't gonna matter right now. This person is in the algorithm. So if I come up and jump in the algorithm the right way, then that's gonna dry up after a while, because you're gonna think, all right, yeah, that's going to get my paid attention to my creativity. Ooh, but that got me lit the first time. So maybe if I do something like that again, and then I get back to my creativity. That's a concept of you putting your creativity in the back seat, but you're aware. You're aware that you put it in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't trying to let it go. But eventually, I'm telling you, it's going to be that situation where eventually you do let it go and you become submerged into this new caricature just because whatever you get ready to justify it as. Maybe it's helping you keep a roof over your head or whatever. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. Try to create some type of balance. You know what I'm saying? Where your creativity can sustain itself, or your individuality or your character, even when it ain't nothing going on. If you're a content creator, you know, things of that nature. Because there's going to be times where the people who are taking over right now, they're going to make what they think is going on, and you're going to feel left out, and all the viewers or whatever. So we're going to see something get infiltrated or inflated that really no one cares about or paying attention to. Then you're gonna have small pockets of people who think that that's a way to do it, jump in the algorithm and then talk about it, and then don't feel good about themselves after they talk about it. And then for the most part, that's what we're gonna see, like a kind of dissolving world. And I guess who's ever adding so much energy into that will be able to see where that's pointing out at when it comes to business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. Unless we start to obtain more creativity in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Not a creative way how to be retarded. Come up with your creativity, then add little that, because then that'll make that have more substance. That'll make that have more substance, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It won't be like, even if y'all want to be whistleblowers or whatever like that, it won't be like you a whistleblower without the, like, you won't be like Prodigy. You You know what I'm saying? Where he said something, discovered something, and then he started putting it in his music or whatever. So it still went back to what he truly do as far as creative. And I'm just using that as an example. Because a lot of y'all be wasting y'all time whistleblowing too. We really should be caring about your own creativity, and whistleblowing don't exist as something happening to you personally. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, if you stay in that pocket, God just show you real life. God show you reality. You know what I'm saying? God show you what's real. All the way down to you know what appreciation is, and you are able to appreciate certain things, even if it ain't got nothing to do with other people and humans doing things for you, because you know what you put out also and what you support, and you're looking at it from the right mind frame. So you know you're being a genuine person 24/7 or whatever the case. And when you stay in that pocket, that's like you keeping something closer to God in mind. All those mind frames and spaceships, those are the fruits closer to God. And when you keep things closer to God in mind and stuff like that, God keep you in mind anytime. So that play out, that's like all kind of spiritual protections and stuff like that. Y'all could be having all kind of enemies and all kind of things of that nature that they can't fully go extreme no matter how hard they try when you really tapped in and things of that nature and you keep God in mind, right? So you might not know specifically where to God at, but for the most part, you can know, you could find in sync and relatable energies, and for the most part keep those formations in mind. So when you bend in, when that fruit bend in and become adrenaline that you spiritually ate, and then you act those type of qualities out, for the most part you don't know what's be going on beyond you. It's a happening, that energy, you and everything around it. So anytime you be needing protection that you ain't even know that you need protection from, you be protected. Anytime you think you be alone or whatever the case may be, you don't be alone or whatever. And anytime you need some advice or some idea of how to go about something, you get all that fruitful gift. You know what I'm saying? Because God don't leave nobody behind, especially if you keep God in mind. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people is trying to look for a specific, like it's another version of a human or whatever the case. And it's just a way to do. You ain't even got to look at it like God. An alligator might know how to swim better than a human or whatever the case may be. You keep whatever that alligator did in mind and start to act out a little bit of those traits for yourself. Maybe you will reach across the river or whatever the case may be and don't drown like the collection of other humans who couldn't be sensitive to life and see that it's a way of thinking. So it's the how, not the what. So just because your brain is what a human think, don't mean how another creature brain can't teach you something or whatever the case may be. So that's just showing you an existence. You just need to take your spirit and go a little bit beyond that and start from that starting point. So you could go in those essence, and then you're going into the right perspective. And therefore, you're going to start to see those fruit that God like to make, because God already been there and done that. And all those Holy Spirits and the Holy Ones been there and done that. What you think you coming up with a creative idea that probably some other demon then came up with and then failed. And just you just at the part of the ruler or the percentage scale into that existence for you to experience when they was experiencing the positive that was going in their favor. They still was in a wrong negative world though, and then you might reach a more extreme negative outcome than them and things of that nature, following the wrong spirits and stuff, thinking you getting the right ideas, thinking you hearing the right sounds. That ain't a vision, that ain't a voice at all, but it led you down that retarded path. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of, because you ain't come up with that yourself, and ain't nobody told you to come up with that or whatever the case, and it ain't relatable in sync with nature or anything of that nature or your natural natures. So for the most part, you made that up, and you off something that you made up. You know what I'm saying? Well, you could say you in some lightness, it'd be darkness. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. You could say you in some love, it's some form of hatred. You could say you in some form of some objective mission. I guarantee it's a bias. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times y'all be in duplicated forms and stuff without knowing it. You got to clear your space. Clear your mind first. You know, that's how you clear your space. That spaceship, that mind, go get another mind. Go get another spaceship. Leave that mind behind. Forget about it. Leave that one in that spiritual city and state. And don't ever go back to those states of beings, that the states of forms that your being be inside of as a spaceship. Leave those behind and make sure years go by that you forget about it. You might remember, oh yeah, I used to have that gadget for my spaceship. I used to have that artillery. Yeah, I used to have that thought form. I don't remember how deep I was in it. I forgot it low key. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm aware of it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Leave it like that. That's how you do it in the spiritual world. You got to know that's how it's always going on. Because a lot of times y'all go back to these spiritual cities and states of beings that your being be in. And then for the most part, you get into this state, that state, and there be abandoned buildings and stuff, abandoned houses and stuff. And you can't, it ain't no fruitful. No one even live in that city anymore. It's vacant and stuff. Now you want attention for something that's old and outdated. You know what I'm saying? You want attention for something that's abandoned. You need to leave it alone. You need to drop it. You need to let it go. And a lot of times it be consistent of certain streets that manifest into the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension as relationships y'all been in, business y'all been in, heartbreaks y'all been in, the business deals going wrong y'all been in, friendships going wrong y'all been in, animosities or whatever the case may be. And then you want to hold on to it or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? And that person married to somebody else right now. You know what I'm saying? Or that business flourishing somewhere else right now. They ain't even thinking about you. Now it's different that the business itself still trying to destroy you in some type of way. That's something that they got to deal with on their own. Or if the woman or the man that quote unquote cheated on you or whatever the case may be is more busy with trying to rub something in your face other than live their life because they're in a better situation or whatever the case may be. That's letting you know right now the situation they in is even worse or whatever the case. And they both doing to their previous people. Was the person that cheated on you, they previous person, and the person they with, they previous person. They just having fun doing the same thing to both of their previous people until they get frustrated with themselves and things of that nature. Then before you know it, everybody is 3, 4 lines down in distance and stuff like that. So you got to even choose if you invest in yourself into that cloudiness. You get lost on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and things of that nature. And you probably be thinking like, nah, she doing that specifically, or nah, he doing that specifically for me, or whatever the case may be. But nah, they must live better, or whatever the case. No, that's where you wrong. No, it ain't. They living worse. They both playing some other game or whatever. You ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all be lost and stuff like that. Then y'all want to come and turn into feminists or red pill online. No, y'all wasn't missing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't think like that. Get back in your creative bag. Get back in your creative bag. You ain't missing nothing and things of that nature. These people are nuts and crazy. They're going to have you doing the same thing. Now you're going to meet somebody in that same phase. You still trying to like post stuff thinking that they care because you're competing now, and you with a person that's doing the same thing. It's like it's a whole long line of getting lost and not having a culture or just getting retarded and then claiming that you made a mistake years later. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That'd be it what y'all humans like doing. Y'all like doing that though. I don't know why y'all like doing that. Y'all like doing that stuff and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to chill out sometimes. No, don't believe everything you see. Don't listen to everything you hear. You know what I'm saying? We got AI now. They probably made up that picture of them being on the water and stuff like that to make you jealous and stuff. People probably really ain't even on vacations and stuff. It might be like AI or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You see her with her new man and stuff like that, and they're on a beach somewhere and stuff like that. That's probably AI. How you know that ain't AI? You know what I'm saying? You sit there tripping, talking about, oh, nah. You know what I'm saying? You mad and stuff. How you know that ain't AI? You know what I'm saying? So y'all be lost and stuff like that. Don't be getting lost in the sauce. If someone overly inadvertently trying to force you to see it, like, you know, like you start to feel that energy. Like sometimes you got to check yourself. You got to be like, wait a minute, nah. You know what I'm saying? They in a new relationship, or nah, that's a new business partnership. Like sometimes you got to check yourself because you would think everything about you, especially if you got like Leo or Capricorn somewhere. Y'all Leos and Capricorns and narcs. You know what I'm saying? But like, sometimes Libras and stuff. I think everything about you. Other signs be trying to separate and beat them. So Aries try to separate. Scorpio will try to separate sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Aquarius will try to separate sometimes. Capricorns, Leo, no. Even if everybody there, they know they don't like. You know what I'm saying? They want to be there to know that. You know what I'm saying? That they on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. They don't, all attention for all the wrong reasons, good reasons. They don't care. As long as they get it and make a business out of something or shine. Leo try to shine off something. Capricorns make a business off something. That's it. That's all it's about. Just know they narcs. That's it. That's all you know they narcs. You know, ain't gonna keep narcs. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? You gotta peep game. People, is a person gonna do something genuine, or it seems like they forcefully asserting it or whatever. Now, you got to get out of your own ego, especially if you got that Capricorn or Leo somewhere. If it's your sun sign, moon sign. Not your ascendant. I'm a Leo ascendant. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Ain't got nothing to do with the ascendants. But like I said, though, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be looking, you know what I'm saying? Y'all Mercuries and stuff. You gotta be paying attention. Sometimes separate. Them first 2 times, you might be over exaggerating. But if you start to feel the energy too much or whatever the case may be, boom, that's when you know, oh yeah, it was about you. You know what I'm saying? And then don't dive too far into it because they just as miserable. You gotta understand that they just as miserable. You ain't missing nothing. It's somebody trying to make you feel like you miss. So it's a self-projecting. They missing something, so they're creating an illusion to protect their spirit. Oh, I like this cloth. Oh, I like this shirt. Oh, I like this misrepresentation of me shirt. Oh, I'll say, oh, I like this throw this person off, make them think I'm in the happiest part of my life. Tank top, you know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff they be putting on in the spiritual world. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful of stuff. You get sucked in and be just as lost as them, and be on that train of picking wrong relationship after the wrong relationship after the wrong relationship after the wrong. You know what I'm saying? Red flower, blue flower. She love me not. She love me. So y'all gotta peep game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be lost in the sauce, and everybody. So you don't turn into no red pill, no feminist. Get into your creativity at this time, because it's gonna be a drought. And let's say you just a person that watch, right? You might get motivated at this time to start doing content, because it's gonna be a drought. Because it's almost like see, that's what I'm saying. I like everybody, man. I like everybody to make money. Now, not nobody hating on me, but there's everybody. But what's real is real. This is why I saw how the Prince said what he said about a lot of rappers that's coming out right now, and it's catering to the sentiment. Shout out to Glasses Malone too. It's like the sentiment I got, but we all got our different views on it. It's probably a lot of other people too. When it comes to like the colleges and college dropouts, you have a lot of people coming to be like rappers. They're not rappers. They're coming to be like producers. They're not producers. They're coming to be like engineers. They're not engineers. So you need heavy infiltration and heavy manipulation and heavy optic looks and stuff like that. So, like, what I hate to throw people under the bus, but one of the prime examples of these that it just so happened to be working for so long, but it's still this same situation. Travis Scott. He's a perfect example. He's not necessarily hot. He's a created synthetic hot. This is when you got the people who start their career genuinely, and you have those people who start their career that you create the optics first, and hopefully the optics, everything follow behind. It's like the concept of, hey, if I make this artist and give them fake views, eventually they're going to get the attention, and it just so happened it should be an audience that come from that. So how long we got to work it? Let's do this. Back in artist development days, this is where you come out with an album and it was a hard time, but a lot of people was reaching gold. So even if you get close to gold, hey, let's get a Bad Boy remix. Then once you get that, who else hot right now? Hey, let's get another Bad Boy remix and let's throw Nelly on it, or whatever the case. And that's the labels and the artist development working at that time to try to get your monkey to platinum, or whatever the case may be. So creating, but see, in those times, that even when you doing that, that's more genuine. That's more genuine. Right now, you got a bunch of college kids that got so much writer's block, they done came to, oh, I got access to this technology AI before other people because I'm in this college. I don't have to write a rhyme now. I'm gonna just type in what I wanna. Hey, I wanna sound like G-Dep, Nas, Jay-Z / got DAWs effects / African Bad Butter. You know what I'm saying? Here you go up here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We get a bunch of half meals. These are half meals and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like oxtail or something like that. It's barely any meat on the bone. Pause, normal. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you know, did you buy it for the nostalgia or because of the word of mouth? It ain't even your culture, or did you really like it, or whatever the case may be, and you willing to waste your money on it because you know what I'm saying? You gotta think. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we're going through, and it's about to be even worse when it comes to the watered down energy because all the Fed plants, just like RUSSLE, that's a Fed plant. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't about the creativity. He trying to get lit right now off Shane and Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? And being signed to Rock Nation. So his rollout is, hey, I was a whistleblower, but I signed to Rock Nation. That's his rollout. It ain't what he talking about. It's what he doing. And y'all got to be careful. Y'all got to understand that's what it is online. You online amongst a bunch of regular people, especially people from the hood, and that's where any type of creativity come from. So we know what it takes to come across people with hard heads, people, weird backgrounds, trauma, all this type of stuff that we have to cultivate in such a way while making it look like it appear to be something that can make it somewhere or whatever. Then you have this other fashion that's coming in, taking that quality as a rollout. So it looked like what J. Cole doing. Something I said. Right now, it's supposed to be hand-to-hand combat when you're doing your 1-2 with any type of product. So instead of just being genuine and it being your idea, it's something that you think people like. See, so that's what makes it virtual signaling now. And you're supposed to allow the people that came up with that idea to do it because it's already word of mouth. That's how they get their 1-2 together. Now, if you want to work with that person, you're helping each other out. You're being welcomed in to the natural creativity of where everything comes from. And you're supporting that background, allowing someone else to be in a position or whatever. So this how you get the hood. That's how you get the hood. Not what y'all be doing and thinking, hey, I can sell this to the hood. No. And we're not asking for your help that way. Either. You see what I'm saying? We willing to make our own. So we welcome you in, so you ain't got to worry about nothing and things of that nature. And we're in a position that we don't have to worry about you. So that's the whole point or whatever. Not using us. Listening to what we saying. Now you got a round table full of colonist energies, no matter the ethnic group, to try to rock everybody to sleep. Then you use what we actually have to do in your safe position, already being funded to be able to do it, which make it look weird. And ain't nothing wrong with being funded, but if you is going to be funded, know how to do that for real. If you're going to actually support the hood, and that's how you actually get welcome. Not people in the hood and even in the suburbs questioning is just this performative. You know what I'm saying? That's this what we don't know how to pay attention. We don't know how to pay attention to nothing else. That I think that's what y'all need to understand. So y'all can even get more creative. Even if you is going to be a fed plant, you get more creative listening to this. You see what I'm saying? A better way to come across, so y'all don't look super crashed out, especially like the Black Panthers did and stuff like that. That new version is like crash out energies. But for the most part, it's just about getting a little bit more creative at what we actually doing. I had another point. I missed that point. Yeah, we don't know how to do nothing else but look at what's genuine, because this our only way of connecting with people around us. So when there's circumstances that's not built from that same founding, but the image and the character of it is being wore like a spiritual cloth and being presented through a plant, even if the person did a good job at it. I mean, they had the football jersey on just right. They had the Joel Santana bandana on just right. The non-X mentionless fabulous basketball jersey on just right. The goddamn size 79 waistline, size 12 waistline, goddamn it, no limit, goddamn it, Cash Money Jabos on and stuff like that. Like everything could be just right with a Memphis Bleak Wave cap on and stuff like that. The tight as hell. Everything could be just right to the T. We see the energy. This is why Drake having such a hard time right now, because we're going through a shift from 2016, and he was popping around 2012 and stuff. So he's like one of him, Big Sean, J. Cole, Kendrick. They're the last of the rest in peace, my people, and the Mohicans and stuff like that, and my lineages and stuff like that. I ain't Mohican, but you know what I'm saying, but for the most of my ethnic groups. But at the same time, right, they was the last of their tribes, or whatever the case may be, when it came to the limbo, where the backpack rapper and the industries and the government plant, the way how they did things, they still had their hands wrapped around things. They still had their finger wrapped around things. So when we get to like SoundCloud and when we get to other things and just leaving MySpace and getting on to other things of that nature, right? They're able to still make a safe rap and get rid of gangster rap and make a synthetic version backpack rapper or stuff like that. But it still was not as extreme when it comes to individuals like me and stuff, because I was online going hard, but we didn't make it such a thing to do yet. So it was still access that they had from the old world that still low-key worked, but it was at the early stages of having a tower moment. So as that 2012 shift, 2016, you get this psyop still, but the reason it could work because we in a limbo. So here's where you get the Little Uzi Verts. Shout out to Trippie Redd, because he's from Ohio. XXX, rest in peace. Because I don't want y'all to think I'm hating or whatever. I'm breaking down what we're experiencing as far as why things are shifting and things of that nature, right? So here's where you get that. Now, their career was able to make money, but it's at a time right now where they were supposed to be the faces of where we at now. But since they still was part of the old world, and the old world had their fingers wrapped around it, it's like that crashed too. So the faces that's supposed to be where we at now don't even know what to do now. So they don't know if they should even make a podcast or whatever, but they're not even in a position of the OGs. So it'll look extra crazy if a Lil Pump come out with a podcast. They probably get ready to do that since I said it. Y'all know I'm Archangel Uriel Honan. You don't go to further. Louis Avert, Rich the Kid. He's from that little bunch or whatever. It'll look crazy. See what I'm saying? So they're not in a position to be the face of the new world we in that they were supposed to be made up to be because of the old world crashed that was funding it. So the old world is trying to figure out, how do we get our funds back, recoup, but also get a hold of what's going on right now? So here's where you get the AI. Here's where you get Netflix trying to make deals or whatever the case may be or whatever. See what I'm saying? But the only reason these things are going to become a problem is who got access to these things to try to use it to be over others, but they lack creativity. And a lot of times it's going to be filtered through the Fed plan. So anytime that you see somebody online and now you're getting bored online and stuff like that, even in the same algorithm that you have, it's starting to seem like it's flooded with a whole bunch of other stuff. You just got to chalk it up in your mind. Oh, okay, this is a Fed plan then. So it's not creativity. It's for me to watch this to replace what I was watching in that same type of algorithm or whatever. So this got something to do with them getting rid of whoever I was watching. Nothing to do with me, but I know I need to get off YouTube for a little bit now. It's phony. Or I know I need to get off TikTok for a little bit now. It's phony. Or I know, you know what I'm saying? Or do I need to get, you see what I'm saying? It's about to just kind of be like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too weird right now, things where we're all trying to flourish in some type of way. And we got other countries kicking our butt. China, Japan, Russia, even Canada, even Britain, kicking our butts. India, kicking our butts. Africa getting flourishing a little bit right now. Kicking our butts. Minding their business, kicking our butts. We doing some in-house fighting off some 1700s ethnic group shit still. Stuff that ain't got nothing to do with no money. I'm from the hood. Everything we doing ain't got nothing to do with no money. I'm saying, got nothing to do with no money, not no lists. None of these things ain't got nothing to do with no money. You know what I'm saying? Not nobody fighting on no planes. Ain't got nothing to do with no money. You know what I'm saying? Not nobody out here talking about they the new Black Panthers. Ain't got nothing to do with no money. You know what I'm saying? We ain't making America look good. We making America look frustrated. We making America look spicy still. Why we look frustrated and spicy still? Ain't got nothing to do with no money. I like to think logical first. You know what I'm saying? AI, use some Michael Jackson dances instead of a new wrestling game. It got nothing to do with no money. You know what I'm saying? Got nothing to do with Sora Party struggling right now. Sora Party thinking, where the money at? We thought we about to kill the streets for a second, putting up this Michael Jackson dancing and Prince all where all the money at. You know what I'm saying? Damn, they can get it for free now. Everybody got free Sora pictures. You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. I got to stay away from it. I got to still be normal. I'm the new age dinosaur. Don't go further than that. I'll be the new age dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm still in nature for y'all to have to look at how to do things right. Real stuff. Like, y'all, laws and stuff like that got nothing to do with no money. We gotta start thinking like that and stuff. Even when y'all talking stuff, but think about it. Don't ever forget. Even if you virtual signaling, or you always up here frustrated, mad in your emotions because it's getting you in the algorithm. Don't forget that got something to do with some money. That's why. You know what I'm saying? So try to kind of change up that a little bit. Be like, all right, oh, this is what I'm doing it for. I swear you'll lighten up a little bit. And if your spirit start being like, well, I got to talk about something extremely depressing again or something, or you just a depressing demon in the first place. Like, oh, I said, just do it good then. Do it good. You know what I'm saying? But mind your business, though, instead, just do it right. If you want to jump in algorithms and stuff, just let that be known to be creative. Anybody who coming after you, they know how to do it creative, and they know how you ain't leading people to actually be somewhere lost in real life or something like that. You know, it's like, oh, this is a way to get your 1-2 together or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Do it intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to be babble mouth. You could just sound intelligent and say good words and stuff like that. You know, you're still a degenerate or whatever the case may be. An intelligent one, though. An intelligent one. You know what I'm saying? That's it. At least make America look like that. At least. You know what I'm saying? At least, man. You know what I'm saying? We be all over the place and stuff like that. But we're gonna get our mind together little by little. But like I said, I guess if people not really caring or taking consideration of what I'm saying, we will experience that drought, the real ice age when it comes to creativity. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to ships and stuff like that, back in the day, this is how we was thinking when we was even making kayaks and boats and helping the colonists and stuff like that, and warships and shit. It's just like, it's literal, like, but it's like a spiritual practice too. You got to understand it. So here's the thing. We in a new world. It's a new industries. The planes, the boats, esoterically, before we create these things is insufficient. We need new screws. We need new boats and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We need all these new type of, you know, they had the Godspeed boat, you know what I'm saying, all these things, but we need new, like, screws and new ship new skirts on the side and on the rails and things of that nature, because everything is like crashing when it comes to ships. So when it comes to your entrepreneurship, your business ships, your friendships and stuff like that, all these things is being destroyed. You like everybody one man, one woman sailors right now and pilots when it's esoterically speaking. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't gonna go nowhere. That ain't gonna go nowhere, or whatever the case may be. And here's the thing. You have to be creative to steer anything in a direction, or you're steering someone in a dark place that's not going nowhere. Don't nobody want to be stuck in something. So that could be stuck in a mind frame. Stuck in a this would make, and we're going through a time where attention span is so damn high. It ain't too many people that be stuck in anything. You will have to force people to be stuck in stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it is. You gotta be force people to be stuck in that virtual signaling. Force people to be stuck in that list. Force people to be stuck on it and stuff like that. And try to figure out, almost, see, I'm a spiritual person. It almost kind of made me feel like a lot of the stuff everybody was getting shadow banned for, everybody stopped even caring after the fact. You're trying to motivate everybody to talk about it now. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, wait, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people just don't want to get, you know what I'm saying? Because I be flying around, man. I be flying around. I ain't want to get all that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to get all that. I just be flying around, man. I be flying around. All the esoteric realms and stuff like that. A lot of people trying to figure out something like that, but, you know what I'm saying? I be trying to tell them in the spiritual world, when I be knocking on their window and stuff, I be like, look, remember how you made people feel, because you ain't want to be bothered. Now you want to be bothered for other purposes. Don't forget that stimuli is still out there. People got to deal with that first. So if you do want to like clear that energy out first, and then you will start to see it duplicate down in a replica in reality and stuff like that, and you won't have to, you know what I'm saying, force certain, you know what I'm saying? I be giving a good game, but everybody don't be there. It'd be like small pockets sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about a lot of stuff because the retarded people get this. And, you know what I'm saying? The true spiritual ones, the true ascended masters and stuff like that. We could have good conversations. Good conversations. You know what I'm saying? So in the physical, you're like, oh, okay, this is where that mind frame coming from. Oh, it's physical people down. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is in the spiritual world. We make our first body the mind, then we use it with our physical body and stuff so we can know where all these things is coming from. So sometimes you be having a sense and you don't even know where you're getting that sense from, and it's from a stranger before they become somebody you're familiar with and things of that nature. It's like, it's a connection that we all got. We all connected. We all connected. You know what I'm saying? You can have a thought about you want to do something positive or negative, and you come up with an idea how it might not work, and you come up with an idea to challenge it. The idea how it don't work, somebody walking around with that idea. You know what I'm saying? So depending on the percentage scale, when we all fighting for God, whatever one works for God or whatever one don't, that's going to be what's sustained in the memory or whatever the case may be, regardless of what y'all do physically and whatever one thought they got over in the physical world or whatever it is. Because everything play out as more relatable and more in sync, so it's more in favor with God. So even spirits that ain't involved going to always take the side of who was more relatable and who was more in sync. So witchcraft and magic have to be utilized on a high level when someone is on the opposite end of that, don't want to be seen as bad and stuff like that. So here's the creation of demonizing something or demonizing someone else in their culture or whatever, depending on the starting or whatever. And if the moral grounds from a God perspective, you know what I'm saying, maybe one, but physically destroyed, right? Then, you know, the people who physically did the destroying got to think about that. They got, you know what I'm saying? And then this is where we get into questioning everything and stuff. And once we get into questioning, we get into separation, we get into all this type of stuff. Don't nobody want to go through no hell inside their own mind. Everybody mind their own business. We don't have to do that with ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Those spirits supposed to have time for all that. God wants us to have time for other stuff. God don't want us to have time sitting around in our own fruit doing organ implosion. You know what I'm saying? So our own physical gets sick. We can't even really fully access the thing we thought externally we won because we got an arthritis in the left toe knuckle or something like that. So it's like everything's still frustrating and stuff. You know what I'm saying? End up getting, even if you get the person getting all this wealth, you rocking your family, friends, associates to sleep, and all this wealth, can't ever experience it because your health and stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So all your wealth really going towards your health. All your wealth going towards about 18 medications and stuff like that. You didn't got, you know what I'm saying, eczema on the left eardrum and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got all kind of rips and tears inside your body, so your skin changing in all colorations and stuff like that. It's all kind of crazy. Something like, you know, when Native Americans start drinking alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta chill out, man. Or when African Americans start smoking crack, or when Europeans start taking too much of that powder medications, or when Puerto Ricans start smoking too much cigarettes. Every ethnic group got something in the land that speed up their aging process way faster than other things in other ethnic groups and stuff like that. You gotta keep that in mind. You could be African American. Your grandmother could have been a crackhead. You gonna be born with no head, no hairline, no nothing and stuff. You already gonna be George Jefferson and stuff like that at the age of 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody down the line or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You're Puerto Rican and stuff like that, and them cigarettes and stuff. It could be your grandmother or somebody hit a cigarette or whatever the case may be. You ain't gonna know what's going on and stuff like that. You ain't gonna know whether the knife should go on your wrist or should go into your classmates or something like that, and you end up in jail for the rest of your life. Or some Mexican or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Mexicans more alcohol. You know, more the native side. Alcohol mess your life up. You know what I'm saying? But if you got the Spangler man in you or whatever, you might could sustain it. You just go crazy on all your fellow Mexicans and all African Americans and stuff. Don't be locked in no jail and stuff. Everybody might get stabbed. Don't go to jail, nothing. Everybody gets stabbed. You know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta chill out, man. Everybody got the something in the land that mess up them and they whole lineage down to the. So even if you mix, you gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? Mix natives and African Americans. Cigarettes and alcohol will destroy your life. Tobacco and alcohol, that would destroy your life. Because even the tobacco ain't the same that it used to be. The tobacco in today's time got rat poison in it. They got a bunch of other stuff. It was made specifically for you to be destroyed, and you don't ever think about selling it at world trade anymore. Only Europeans allow. You know what I'm saying? It was made specifically for that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to Native Americans and the African Americans they was bringing over here. It was made specifically for that. This cigarette right here, this tobacco we growing now. You know what I'm saying? We only ones got this in bulks and stuff, Marlboros. You know what I'm saying? Camels and Newports and Newport, you slave. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful. So like, it's different. It ain't the one spiritual practices was done. You sprinkle a little bit of weed in it. I say, well, it ain't the time that y'all was introduced to Africans coming over here. The natives already was doing and stuff like that, and Europeans start rubbing their Birdman hands together and stuff like that. Before you know it, it's just in your local corner stores or on the shelf store. You'll never be in your backyard again. Never be in your backyard again. I'm gonna burn that. You'll never be getting nobody else up again. Oh, burn that. God damn. I love everybody down here, man. For real. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we're going through a crazy time right now. So just be careful, right? That you don't get too lost and too much of your creativity go into the back seat. Force it. I don't care if it ain't got nothing to do with the algorithm or anything, because y'all too worried about numbers. And here's the thing. The synthetic world created a certain optic. So here's another way how you can sell your soul, aka just sell your ability, which your soul can do. Your spirit can create creativities and things of that nature, right? You would think that, all right, you might not even look at it as creative, because you would think this made up thought, if you present it and you already kind of can read things and read the esoteric room, you kind of know that if I present this, it's not going to be getting all these likes. And based upon you fighting with the esoteric synthetic world, because you know there may be, especially if you're in the industry, you probably experience a lot of things going on of people being able to get deals or getting a little bit of money just off because of a view count or something like that. So that alone would allow you to look at it like, damn, man, let me not put this song out though. It ain't gonna, damn, let me not talk about this though. this time. I'd rather, damn, once you get into that energy, man, you fighting with God. I'm telling you, you fight with God. If you got something that you need to present, do that. That's what God looking at, man. The phase will always come back around and it'll be your time. For real. Know what I'm saying? It's so many videos I got now from years ago all the way to now that it take years for people to stop watching, come back around, and just realize that I was breaking down the whole world we in right now, or whatever the case may be. And the sooner the better. The more you're able to realize, the more you're able to jump on game. You know what I'm saying? Just think about if somebody who was even listening to me 5 years ago, they'll already be 1,000 views in. I mean, 1,000 videos or something in with a whole bunch of stuff that people want to listen to, because we getting ready to go through a creative drought right now. And you probably saying a whole bunch of stuff that sound like it makes sense or whatever the case may be. And here you go, able to be refreshing again, just like all these artists and OG artists just popping up in the algorithm based upon crashing out or doing something intelligent. And boom, there you go. Your old songs popping again. You know what I'm saying? Your own songs back on the billboards. Well, that's crashing, but your own songs getting views and stuff like that. Now y'all got to figure out how you can scrape up that change depending on how many clause and that you have allowed to be on them terms and agreements that you were signing via contracts and things of that nature, how much you was involved. You got to figure out, because a lot of y'all, you could do something right now and God working miraculous ways and stuff like that. It's all of a sudden your old album take off again. Everybody just glorifying it and stuff like that. You can't eat off none of it. You can't eat off none of it. Yeah, so if you're like, we're going through a new time. Stay in y'all creative boxes, all right? You know what I'm saying? And we is going to go through a creative drought because we're just going to experience a whole flood of fed plants when it comes to business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. So anytime there's a lack of creativity and more of a talking point for something to be looked at as creative, here's where you're going to second question something. Is this creative? Who is this? Or whatever. And then you ain't got the second question. This is a fed plant or whatever. Make them compete. Compete will be creative. You know what I'm saying? Show us what you working with or whatever the case may be. Like, we looking at things. Don't try to force us something based upon narratives if we all online making our own narratives. And then you got to copy us for yours to even look like it's something. That's where things become a problem. Don't ever forget that. But I love everybody from the bottom of my heart, and I hope everybody get their 1-2 together. And no one should stop nobody from making money or whatever the case may be. All we need to do is become more creative. I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Like Botnet, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and responsibilities. Erect the swat, hill, hold that yellow hoop, Massasoit, Mama no toy, and all of that, Masasaki.